Good morning, everyone. Today we will discuss the last part of the chapter electricity and measuring instruments. In last session, we studied about measuring instruments like moving coil galvanometer, which is used to calculate the small currents. It's a sensitive device, and ammeter. It is used to measure the current, and voltmeter. Voltmeter is used to measure the potential differences between the two ends or voltage in the conducting wire. How to convert this sensitive device galvanometer into voltmeter and ammeter we studied in the last session. Today we will discuss about another two devices. One is a Wheatstone bridge, another one is a meter bridge. These two devices are used to find the unknown resistance. These two devices used to find the unknown resistance. This Wheatstone bridge is a device which is an application of Kirchhoff laws, and meter bridge is a device which is based on the basic principle of meter bridge is a Wheatstone bridge. So we have to recapitulate the Kirchhoff laws, because Wheatstone bridge is a device which works on the principles or laws of Kirchhoff. So the ones recall the Kirchhoff laws. Kirchhoff's two laws are there. One is the first law, that is known as a current law or junction law, and the second law is a voltage law or loop law. The first law of Kirchhoff is the algebraic sum of currents meeting at any junction equals to 0. So summation of I equals to 0. This is first law. And second law is the algebraic sum of all the potential differences in a closed loop is 0. Summation of V equals to 0. These are the two Kirchhoff laws. So based on this Kirchhoff laws, Wheatstone developed a bridge that is called as a Wheatstone bridge, which is used to measure unknown resistance. This Wheatstone bridge is a application of a Kirchhoff laws. This bridge has four resistances. Consider P, Q, R, S. These P, Q, R, S are the four resistances connected in a series. These four resistances are created two arms. So diagonally, the one pair of resistances connected to a source. One pair of resistances connected to a source. Here this A and C are connected to the source. This is known as a battery arm. In between remaining two vertices, the B and D, a galvanometer is connected. This galvanometer is a device used to detect the current G. This galvanometer G is connected in between the B and D. For this line B and D is known as a galvanometer arm, where the battery is connected in between two pairs of resistors is called as a battery arm, and where the galvanometer is connected in between the two pairs of resistances, it is called as a galvanometer arm. Among these four resistances, PQRS is a variable resistance which is connected between B and D. The galvanometer resistance is a variable. If the galvanometer resistance, assume that for simplicity we assume that the cell has no internal resistance. In general, there will be a current flow across all the resistances as well as galvanometer. The galvanometer current is Ig. It is represented by the galvanometer current is represented by Ig. This is in general. In general, the current is passing through all the resistances, which is starting from the battery. At A, it is split into I1 and I2. I1 goes to B and it goes as a Ig. The current passing through the Ig. Galvanometer is Ig, and at D, Ig and I2 is coming in, and this goes out. Here, of a special interest is the case if the balanced bridge means where the galvanometer resistance is 0. If the value of galvanometer is current is 0, then it is said to be the bridge is balanced. We can easily get the balancing condition such that there is no current through the galvanometer. Right? So galvanometer current becomes 0, then you will get the balancing condition or equilibrium condition. Here, to get this balancing condition, you have to apply the Kirchhoff laws to the bridge. You have to apply Kirchhoff laws to the bridge. Here, see the in between A and C, in between the points A and C, we are connected a battery, and in between B and D connected a galvanometer. The battery EMF I, right? Here battery, the four resistances, here battery is connected. So this is A, this is B, this one is C, and this one is D. Here galvanometer is connected G. If the battery EMF is E, then it produces current I. It produces current I. So the current is passing this at the junction A, it splits into 2. The current splits into 2. Here I1 is divided and I2. This resistance is B, this is Q, this is R, this is S. So this current I1 and I2 passes through the resistance P and resistance R. Now this I1 reaches point C. At this point it splits into 2. One is I3 and another one is a Ig. Ig is a current passing through the galvanometer, and I3 is a current passing through the resistance Q. The currents here the current I2, see this, the current I2 and Ig, this is Ig, I2 and Ig reaches the point D and it flows, and here I3 and I4 comes to C and they reaches to the battery negative terminal, right? So apply this Kirchhoff's law at junction A. At junction A, I am applying Kirchhoff's law. See this, the current I is coming to junction and it is splitting into I1 and I3. For simplicity, you can take this. For simple, you can take this, apply Kirchhoff's law to the points where the galvanometer is connected. Right? So at B, at junction B, at junction B, at B, the two currents are going in. I is going to the junction and Ig is going away and I3 is also going away. Here this is so I1 equals to Ig plus I3 according to Kirchhoff's law. And at junction D, the Ig is coming in, I2 is coming in, I4 is going out. So I2 plus Ig equals to I4. So consider these are the two equations we got, and the two currents I1 and I2. Right? So by adjusting, if the bridge is balanced, means galvanometer current is 0, Ig is 0, then Ig is 0, so galvanometer current is 0, so Ig equals to 0. Therefore equation 1 becomes I1 equals to I3 plus Ig. From this, I1 equals to I3. From equation 2, I2 plus I4, I2 plus Ig equals to I4. From this equation, I2 equals to I4 because Ig value becomes 0. Right? So at the equilibrium position, the current passing through the four resistances are equal. Now we have to apply Kirchhoff's second law or loop law to the bridge. Here we have two loops. See this, one is A, B, D, A. A, B, D, A is one loop, and another loop is B, C, D, B. This is another loop. B, C, D, B is another loop. Now we have to take a direction according to the Kirchhoff's second law. I am taking the clockwise direction. If the resistances or current is passing in the clockwise, then it is taken as plus, otherwise it is taken as minus. So I am taking this direction as clockwise direction, both the loops. Now as per applying second law to the first loop, the first loop is A, B, D, A. I am applying the first law to this loop, right? What are the voltages? What is the second law? Sum of all the potential differences or voltages in a loop is equals to 0. So here what is the current passing through the first resistance P? I1 P is the first voltage through resistance P, and here we have three resistances, three voltages. One is Ig is the current passing through the galvanometer, and G is the resistance of the galvanometer, and minus because observe the I2 direction, the direction is opposite, so I am taking it as a negative. So I1P plus IgG minus I2R equals to 0. This is for the first loop. Now I am applying the same second law to the loop 2. The second loop. Second loop is B, C, D, B. B, C, D, B is the second loop. BC DB is the second loop. For the BCDB, here also we have three voltages. One is I3Q, I3 is passing in this direction, and IG, I4S minus IG G equals to 0. So these are the two equations we get when you apply the second law, Kirchhoff's second law, to the loops. Now at the balancing condition, what is the balancing condition? At Ig equals to 0, Ig value becomes 0. That is the balancing condition. See the equation from this: I1P plus IgG minus I2R equals to 0. From this equation, Ig value becomes 0, so this term total becomes 0. So I1P minus I2R equals to 0. Therefore I1P equals to I2R. From this third equation, I1P plus IgG minus I2R equals to 0. Therefore Ig value becomes 0, so total term becomes 0. Then we are getting I1P equals to I2R. Now from second loop equation, Ig value equals to 0. So what is the second loop equation? I3Q minus I4S minus IgG equals to 0. So Ig value equals to 0. Therefore from this equation, I3Q minus I4S equals to 0. From this, I3Q equals to I4S. Right? We got the I3Q equals to I4S. See, this is equation 6. Consider it is 6. Now we got the value equations. One is in a balancing condition, I1 equals to I3, I2 equals to I4, and I1P equals to I2R, I3Q equals to I4S. We got these equations from the applying Kirchhoff's first and second laws to the junctions and loops. So for example, this here this is equation 1, consider this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4, the 4 equation. So now do the 4 by 3. So okay, here 3 by 4, 3 by 4. So I1 P by I3 Q equals to I2 R by I4 S, right? But we know that the I1 equals to I3, I1 equals to I3, so you can write it as I1 P by I1 Q equals to I2 equals to I4, so you can write it as I2 R, so you can write it as I1 P by I3 Q equals to I2 R by I4 S. I1 P by I3 is equals to I1, so I1 Q, I2 R, I2 equals to I4, so I2 equals to S. Yes. Now here I1 cancel, I2 cancel, so P by Q equals to R by S. This is the principle of the Wheatstone bridge. The balancing equation is P by Q equals to R by S. This is the balancing condition or equilibrium position of the Wheatstone bridge. So from this value, if you know the two values P and Q, you know the P and Q values, then you can compare these two values. If you know the three values, if you know the any three, these three are 1, 2, 3, any three, then you can find out the fourth value. You can calculate the fourth unknown resistance, or you can compare the two resistances if you know the other two. This is the principle of a Wheatstone bridge, P by Q equals to R by S. By using this Wheatstone bridge equation, P by Q equals to R by S. So if you know two resistances, you can compare another two resistances. If you know the three resistances, you can find out fourth resistance. So by using this Wheatstone bridge, we can compare the unknown two resistances, or we can find out the unknown fourth resistance, right? So based on this, the one problem, see here in a Wheatstone bridge, the resistances are 3, 4, 8 in ohms here, and what is the fourth resistance required to balance the bridge? So here given 3, 4, 8, three resistances are given and asking for the fourth one. So consider this is P, this is Q, this is R, and what about S? So what is the formula for the Wheatstone bridge? Wheatstone bridge formula is P by so here given 3, 4, 8, and fourth one he is asking. So first one is, consider this is P, this is Q, this is R, and this one is S. You have to find out fourth one. So what is the formula for the Wheatstone bridge balancing condition? P by Q equals to R by S. So he is asking for S, right? So P by S goes there, and P comes here. S equals to R by R into Q by P. So R is 8, Q is 4 by 3, 24 by 3. So S equals to 8. right? So first you have to take a data, given data, you have to write down the given data, then substitute in a 348 you can substitute the values, then you will get a problem. So P by Q equals to R by S. So P is right. So take the data and substitute in the formula, then calculate, you will get the answer. Next device is a meter bridge. This meter bridge is consists of a 1 meter length wire. That's why it is known as a meter bridge. It has 1 meter length wire. It works on the principle of a Wheatstone bridge. So by using meter bridge, we can calculate measure the unknown resistance of a given wire, and we can calculate the specific resistance of a given wire. We can calculate the specific resistance of the given wire, or you can calculate the resistance. So here meter bridge works on the principle of Wheatstone bridge. So this meter bridge is used to find out the unknown resistance of a conductor, or compare two unknown resistances also, and to find out the specific resistance of a conductor. The meter bridge consists of a uniform wire of 1 meter. So you can see this here, the 1 meter wire. That's why it is called as a meter bridge. The cross-sectional area of the wire is uniform. This wire is connected in between two L-shaped metal strips. The 1 meter wire is connected in between two L-shaped metal wires. These are the two L-shaped metal wires, and here in between A and B, at this point the 1 meter wire is connected. These L-shaped metal strips has another metal strip is there in between these two L-shaped metal strips, leaving the two gaps. Here we have two gaps, one and another two gap. So these three are the metal strips. For example, this is a L-shaped metal strip, and this is another L-shaped metal strip. This is the another metal strip. Right, in between these two, the gap is there. So you can connect this known resistance and unknown resistance in between these two gaps, G1 and G2, and a galvanometer is connected from the middle strip. Right, here you see this gap 1 and another gap 2, and in between this is the one metal strip and this is another metal strip. Here third metal strip is there, two gaps. So in between one gap, known resistance, another gap 1 is unknown resistance, and in middle strip we connect a galvanometer with the help of a jockey, and two endpoints are connected to the battery. right? So one terminal of the galvanometer connected to the strip, middle strip, and another end of the galvanometer is connected to the jockey through a high resistance. Here the unknown resistance, the meter bridge is a bridge having three metal strips with two gaps. In between the two metal strips, 1 meter uniform cross sectional area wire is connected. That's why it is called as a meter bridge. In between gap 1 unknown resistance is connected. In the gap 2 known resistance is connected. From the middle strip a galvanometer is connected, and another end of the galvanometer is connected to the jockey through a high resistance. Here unknown resistance. Now I see the picture. A, B, C are the three metal strips. In between A and C, the 1 meter wire is connected, that is uniform in the cross sectional area. From in between the A and B metal strips, gap 1. Here gap 1. In this gap 1, the unknown resistance is connected. In between the B and C strips, gap 2, known resistance is connected by using resistance box. This is the resistance box. By using resistance box, we are connecting the known resistance in a gap 2. So here in gap 1 unknown resistance, you have to find out the unknown resistance by using this meter bridge. Now in battery is connected in between A and C by using a jockey or a key, plug key. From the middle strip a galvanometer is connected with a using of high resistance, and other end is connected to the jockey. Here we need a meter bridge, slide wire bridge. It is also called as slide wire bridge. A battery, a galvanometer, a resistance box, jockey, one-way key, unknown resistance wire. To find out the specific resistance, you have to find out area, cross sectional area. So you need a screw gauge and a meter scale and connecting wires. Now so you have to first connect the bridge. The A and C terminals, two ends of the 1 meter wire is connected to the battery, and from the mid strip we are connecting the galvanometer and one high resistance with a jockey. So first you have to check whether the connections are correctly connected or wrong one. To check the connections, take the jockey and put a jockey at point A. You have to start from any side, but take care, you have to start from the where the battery positive terminal is connected. So here in this picture battery positive terminal is connected to A, so you have to start from A. If you are touching the A, the galvanometer deflection shows like this. For example, it deflections towards left. Take it and touch at C. When you touch at C, it shows left, right? Or when you touch A, it shows left. When you touch A, it shows left. Touch at A, touch at A, it shows left. Touch at C, it shows left. In another case, you touch at A, it shows right, and when you touch at C, it shows right. These two cases also wrong. The connections made are wrong. Now third one is, see here, when you touch A, it shows deflection left, and when you touch C, deflections right. Or you touch A, it shows left, you touch C, it shows left. So these connections are correct. It means when you touch the both ends, the deflection should be opposite, irrespective of the whether it's towards left or towards right. Irrespective of the deflection, both the deflection should be opposite in the direction. Then it is said to be your connections are correct. Otherwise your made connections are wrong. Take care of this one, otherwise it is difficult. Alright, now you have to start the experiment. So what you are finding out here, unknown resistance, which is connected in a gap 1. Now take the jockey and simply gently touch on the wire from left or right, where the galvanometer, where the battery positive terminal is connected. Here battery positive terminal connected A, so I am touching this galvanometer meter, touching the jockey on the wire. Now initially the galvanometer reading is like this. So when you are going forward, the galvanometer reading approaches to 0. When it approaches to 0, you have to remove the high resistance which is connected in between the jockey and galvanometer. This high resistance is used to protect the galvanometer. Galvanometer is a sensitive device which measures the current. If the more current passes through the wire, then galvanometer damages. That's why we are using high resistance. Just simply remove the high resistance. It does not mean remove the high resistance box. Simply you have to remove the resistance by putting the key in the plug, right? So removing high resistance, then the galvanometer reading shows the 0. At which distance the galvanometer reading is showing 0, then that length is called as a L1. It is called as a L1. This is total length of the wire is 100 centimeter. So L1 is this one, the remaining part is 100 minus L1. So applying this same to this meter bridge works on the principle of Wheatstone bridge. So apply the Wheatstone bridge. Here unknown resistance X, known resistance is R, first length is L1 and second length is L2, which is equals to 100 minus L1. So these are the two resistances. X by R equals to L1 by L2. This is the formula to find out the unknown resistance. From this, X by R equals to, for example, L by remaining length is 100 minus L. So now you can find out the unknown resistance. X equals to R into L by 100 minus R, which gives in the ohms. So this is the formula to find out the unknown resistance by using meter bridge. So you can find out unknown resistance by using this formula. X equals to R L by 100 minus L. Now you got the X value. X value is something, you got some ohms. Now you have to find out the specific resistance of a given wire. How to find out the specific resistance? So what is the formula for the specific resistance? Specific resistance specific resistance rho equals to R A by L. Here R is a resistance, A is the cross sectional area, L is the length. So we know the value of R, which is equals to X, unknown resistance we calculated from the meter bridge experiment. Now cross sectional area of a wire equals to A equals to pi r square, and you have to find out the length. So to find the length, by using simple scale you can find out the length, you will get the length. To find the cross sectional area you need to calculate the radius of the wire. So by using screw gauge you can find out the cross sectional area of wire. From this you know the value unknown resistance R. Now length you know R also. Therefore from this R, A equals to pi r square, A equals to pi r square, you know all the values. Substitute these all values in rho equals to X into pi r square by L. Substituting these X, resistance, radius and length value, you will get the specific resistance of a given wire. So by using meter bridge you can find out the resistance and specific resistance by calculating the resistance. X and pi r square is the area of cross section of wire and L is the length. This is a formula to find out the specific resistance of a given wire by using meter bridge. So by using Wheatstone bridge you can find out the unknown resistance and you can compare the two resistances. By using meter bridge you can find out the unknown resistance and also you can find out the specific resistance of a given wire. See, for example, if 10 ohms and 30 ohms are connected in left and right gap of a meter bridge, so this is a meter bridge. For example, this is a L1 gap 1, gap 2. The 10 and 3 are the resistances connected in a meter bridge experiment. Here gap 1, gap 2. So now find the balancing length. So 10 resistance 10 ohm is take as X and known another is 30 ohms. Now what is the formula for the meter bridge, balancing length of the meter bridge? X by R equals to L by 100 minus L. So what is X? 10 by 30 equals to L by 100 minus L. So 1 by 3. So 3L equals to 100 minus L. 3L equals to 100 minus L. 3L equals to 100 minus L. So L goes left. So 3L plus L equals to 100. So 4L equals to 100. So L equals to 100 by 4, that equals 25 centimeter. So from the left side or from the where the battery positive connect terminal is connected, from that side at the length of 25 centimeter you will get the Ig value equals to 0. So balancing condition distance L is the 25 centimeter, where the 10 and 30 are ohms of resistance is connected in between the two gaps. Now another one is C. The resistances in the left and right gaps of meter bridge are connected in 2:3 ratio. Then find the balancing length. Here the given data is just 2:3. So X is to R. equals to 2:3. So you can write it x by r equals to L by 100 minus L. So x is 2 and r is 3. So L by 100 minus L, cross multiplication, 2 into 100 minus L equals to 3L. So 200 minus 2L equals to 3L. So 2L goes left, so 5L. 5L equals to 200. So L equals to 200 by 5, therefore 40. So L equals to 40 centimeter. So from left, you will get the balancing point. I z value 0 is at the 40 centimeter, right? So this type of problems will come in the examinations, right? Simply you know the formulas. Wheatstone bridge P by Q equals to R by S, and meter bridge formula balancing equation is x by r equals to L by 100 minus L. Then you can easily solve the problems from this area. So we have this meter bridge experiment in lab also. So you will get more marks from this question based on theory and practicals also. So Wheatstone bridge is a application on Kirchhoff laws, and meter bridge is a application of a Wheatstone bridge, right? So from these two questions, one question will surely appears in examinations, right? Thank you.